Hello and welcome to Creative Tuesdays. We are happy to have you here. And for this season, this actually is the last workshop because we want you to have some, at least we think it is last. You never know with Tuesdays, they tend to appear suddenly. But we want you to focus on your study, exams, etc. So this year we are doing more meetups earlier. I will share the screen and jump right into it. Hi to all of the people who are watching us here on Zoom, on Facebook, and on YouTube later. If you have any questions while we are presenting, feel free to write them or raise your hand. We usually start more with the presentation. If there are any questions or discussions, and that usually is for the second part. And what are Creative Tuesdays for? If someone is here for the first time, then I can give a quick roundup. So this is our 106th meetup. It's been quite a productive year. And a short intro on Creative Tuesdays. Main task we do here, we try to switch on your creativity with different methods. And we really believe that creativity is a muscle. The more you train it, the more creative you become. So it's not something you just suddenly find out, but it's more like an acquired skill that needs training. Each meetup we have new topics, so we kind of try to push ourselves into this creative mindset too. And in a way, creativity is trying to not do the same thing over and over again. And we do it through three methods, which is empathy and conversation, a group learning approach, and this modularity where we do workshops in modular fashions. There are 3D Tuesdays and Design Tuesdays. A lot of times some lecturers are previous participants, so we kind of onboard people as we go, try to learn ourselves from others. It's not more like a place where a lecturer or professor comes to you and tells you how to do it, but it's more like a place where we try to learn it all together. Overall, here are some meetups that have been before related to design, and you can see that Lasma is a returning guest lecturer where she told us how to monetize your design online. So this is kind of a follow-up workshop on that one, like a feedback of what has happened after these 2 years since you were here last time. I think it wasn't even here; it was in RTU, right?
No, I think it was here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It could be here. Yeah, it wasn't that weird room. Yeah, okay, good. So yeah, and if you're wondering where can you watch all these videos, so you have to go here, and they all live in that beautiful place. Right now, I will stop sharing my screen, and I will try to enable Lasma to share the screen. And meanwhile, yeah, so the topic of Lasma's presentation today will be how to monetize your creative skills and in a way make your design more sustainable or grow and build your future, because it's hard to build future without making some money. And this is how there is one way to do it. We can see your screen, only it shows this PowerPoint now, but PDF background. But it's also fine, we can continue that way, or you can try to do full screen. It's sometimes F11 works, like if you press like this F11 button, or sometimes when you go to view and make view full screen. That also tends to.
Oh yeah, but I don't need a full screen because
Okay, good. You have stuff to show. Well, without further ado, with large virtual applauses, let's welcome Lasma Knake. And well, I saw you were joined as Eva, so let's see what's all that about. Adopted person. Yes.
Why I have like a nickname?
I'm very interested.
Yeah. Okay. So, hello, my name is Lasma, and I will try to tell you a little bit about my experience and give you some guides how maybe you can go into labor market and be more like show your skills and gain experience and knowledge. So a little bit about me. I have a bachelor's degrees in digital design. I graduated in 2009, which is very long time ago. I have 15 years of experience as graphic designer, have worked in-house and currently working as a freelance designer. I have been for almost 2 years a part of Fiverr Pro community and independently also working in Latvia's market. And today's presentation will be featured with some topics about portfolio, what to do and not to do when you present your resume, interviews, and office atmosphere. A little bit about gaining experience, some advices that I can give you from my 15 years of being in the field, and some other topics like finding your niche. And as I understand, we also have a practical work.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is basically how it looks if you are a designer and you want to sign up for a job and you have found the perfect job that description works okay, you want to sign up to it, and then these are the essentials that you might need, which is a good portfolio. Back in my days, it was like one PDF. Now it's a little bit broader. It's good that you have your Dribble account, your backhands, and maybe if you have your own web page. And nowadays also social media sometimes works well. And I would like to share with you how exactly, I hope you can see, how exactly a full-scale backhands portfolio looks like. As you can see, we have multiple images with projects, which is kind of nice because you can show off your versatility about what you do.
It could be that you shared only the window, not the screen.
Sorry.
So you can first stop share, then share again, and press on share screen, not window, and then you will be able to.
Oh yeah, there is new scale. Okay. Okay. Nice.
Now we can see.
Yeah. This is how looks nowadays a professional backhands portfolio, where you showcase multiple different projects, and also, which is kind of cool, that when you click on them, it's advisable that you show your project from different angles, so your future employer could see like your skill sets and in depth in your professionality, I would say. But this is also not the how to say high class. If we talk about very professional designers, which is also, let me show you here. The thing I wanted to mention, that you don't need to have very many projects listed there, as long as they are like you show a creative way of expressing your skill sets. For example, this Starbucks catalog came across to me, like I saw it's a plain catalog, but I mean, wow, how it is presented, and it definitely gives an insight. Okay, this girl definitely knows what she's doing, and she's being a professional if she just takes a plain catalog and shows a very engaging manner.
It's also some name dropping, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I got Starbucks as a client, just like casual.
Yeah, it's like
one of my many projects.
Yeah, exactly. Like it may be just a plain catalog. Like nowadays, whoever uses the catalog, but if you show it, I can design a catalog like this, then I definitely understand why would I pay you big bucks for it. And what I have done, it's okay. I show off my pieces. It's not really like well that made, because I have copy paste the same. But this is a simple example to show you that it's advisable that all of your media online has the same projects. So
this is so good. Pacels savas ambīcijas. Like, Klaus pacēlā, I see what you did there.
Yeah, that was actually one of the recent projects. But another thing about your own web page, when you create it, nowadays we have lots of places where you can make one that's free. You don't really have to pay for it. And what I would advise when you make your own, like backhands is basically, you cannot go anywhere with designing there. It's plainly, and it's everyone has the same layout. But when you do your own, there's a place where you also can be creative. Like, for example, mine has the colors of brown and blue and maybe a little gray, which shows a little bit like my personality. I like pastel colors. This is like my significant style. You cannot show your style via the backhands because everything is like copy paste there. But with your own, I would advise like show a little bit your signature. That would be advice. Okay, now we'll share back to the presentation. The next topic would be some pointers. I would advise, if you don't have a portfolio, create one yourself, because nowadays your future boss won't be interested whether you really have a huge experience. As long like he wants to see what can you do. And if you know how to work with the programs and you are a creative one, I think you can make one yourself, even though you really have not had had the great experience working in agencies or with named clients, as long as you can show something. Then some tips about resume. Yeah, back in the days, I thought that this is very stylish. I bet for some people, maybe it is, but nowadays have shown me that it's a bit too cluttered. And imagine if you receive 200 resumes like this a day, it's really hard to follow and even understand, let alone to figure out if you could be perfect for the role. What I would advise to make it maybe simpler, make it clear, and also some experience from my personal background is like, if you have a good LinkedIn profile, sometimes it works better than you send in resume, because on LinkedIn you can show off your skill sets in the way that is very easy to understand.
Oh, you are senior brand designer at these posts. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's actually a very nice place to work. They have a very creative marketing team.
Oh.
Yeah, and also one thing, I cannot really zoom, but here you can see I have pointed out the experience. I have seen lots of people do that, but from my perspective, I think it's way too. It's like the information itself is very dissected, and this it makes you seem like you're bragging about something. But if you plainly look at this, working as graphic designer, main focus on creating user friendly. Yeah, it's
so much better. It's like I did that and that and that and that.
Yeah,
and that,
exactly.
And it's like, oh, stop bragging.
And what also works well, I have found that how grateful you have been with your work experience, and sometimes people find that more appealing because it sounds friendlier. Like here I wrote, as an individual and in collaboration with creative agencies, have been pleasure to work with such brands as, and then you name a couple of brands. Yes. Because you have been pleasure to work, not that, oh, I've worked with them, I'm so fancy. That usually sets people off, like, okay, like, cool down.
There are these memes where a person has worked as an Amazon package, or like, like McDonald's, who is like customer sales officer at that, and that was like, yeah.
We all have been there, but still, we really have to brag about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and this is also one of those points that what to avoid. Down to earth people usually makes better impression. And it's easier to work with them in collaboration in the office. That's also true. Interview and office atmosphere. Also, what I mentioned, I try talking about employers' gains when hiring you, not about how cool designer you are, because they are interested in their work environment, not, okay, I have this Harvard degree, someone blah, blah, but can you really do the job? And that's also.
Yeah, I think just being motivated and kind of, hey, I'm passionate to learn. I have some time. I will like if someone said to me like, I'm passionate to learn and I have a lot of free time, I would say, shut up, take my money. I don't even need a portfolio, because nowadays I think a lot of like everything changes so fast. Like I used to work in InDesign and Illustrator, and now like 80% of like even graphical assets we create are sometimes on Miro and Figma. Like it's just so easy to collaborate there. But okay, I'm stealing away your life.
No, it's all fine. It's just
oh, we are like working in this emphasis on conversation, but
of course. And when I signed it for Fiverr, they gave us also some learning materials, and what they advise when a client approaches you, like sound like you're really enthusiastic that you want to do this job for him, because if you sound like, okay, how quickly I can do it and how much money I can gain from it, it kind of sets back, and people really don't want to work in that environment. But if you're like passionate, hey, yeah, I can see your idea, it's great, I can do like this and this and this and make it really stand out and cool project for you, they're immediately engaged. Oh wow, yeah, you have passion, you have energy, I want to like pay my money.
Energy. Good.
And also, 2 tips if you want to work in-house. What I have found from my personal experience, if the office environment is very dirty and cluttered, then the overall like work experience there will probably be that nobody will ever pay you on time, nobody will ever respect your boundaries and all that. So it's kind of something to point out. And then also have been clients who talk very highly about themselves, and in the job process it's kind of difficult to work with them because they think so highly of themselves that they don't have to take a participation, but I need someone who will approve the text, I need someone who will give me the sources to work and all that, but they are so overwhelmed. It's like, okay, it's not really a pleasant atmosphere where to work.
I have so been there. Like there's a client and you can't even get the task from them. It's like
all about everything, but okay, what is the task? Where is the
deadline?
Like, where is the image?
I'll get back to you later. It's already a good response. So like, okay.
Yeah, something to take for consideration. Yeah, and now a little bit in depth about after you have reached your first job and started to work, a little insight from my experience in first couple of years. Try yourself out in different fields within like graphical designing and see what you like and what you dislike, and then throughout the years maybe flash out something that you yourself find that this is not really for you, and it is okay that it's not for you, or maybe after 2-3 years again I feel that I want to go there again and I really liked it. And I would say about like 3 or 5 years maybe do this. What was the word?
Self-evaluation.
No, versatile. Yeah, be versatile. Don't stick to just one thing. Yeah, don't stick to one thing. Like be versatile and figure out who you are as a designer. What is your signature style? What do you like, don't like? Where do you feel yourself expanding? As those first 3 or 5 years, you probably are young and very energetic, and you can do lots of things. And it's your time to get the experience and get the knowledge. And after a while, where you have tried out a couple of multiple places, and you find, okay, well, this is just plain example. Like I feel myself in branding, then start growing your expertise in this niche and become like the best branding designer there could ever be. Because as we grow older, we may get less of energy in working, but we will gain more knowledge and experience. So the future clients will recognize us, and then they will pay us for our style, our knowledge, not based on how many hours we can spend actually doing the job. And then you will be more expertise in the field that you like, you feel yourself, and this is really you, and you kind of start growing your own identity as a designer. Sorry. And then, well, this is interesting. This actually comes from my mentor. It's a really great tool for how not to procrastinate. If you look at yourself today, then what you are today, it's kind of based on what you have done in the past. For example, if you're fat today, maybe you have overeaten yourself.
I feel personally attacked.
Nothing personal. It's just
it started in a messy workplace and it continues with eating.
or maybe if you're without a job today, that's maybe because in the past you have been lazy, or as my personal example once was, I was burned out today, and then I looked, okay, yeah, but I actually did overwork myself in the past, and this is where I have come to. But it's never like the end of the road. If you start working today on something for your future's sake, that you will get there one day. If you start like eating apples today, you will definitely get healthier tomorrow. If you start to pick up your pace, you will definitely get more jobs done in the future, more gain more money. Or you know, examples like this can be many. But the main idea behind this topic is that be proactive and don't procrastinate things, because your future is based on what you will do today. That would be the outtake of this last slide. And then, as I understand, we have made in Figma a board, and I could ask people to join to create a little advertisement for social media. We have chosen for Toyota. There are some samples and a little bit more samples in Figma. Social media that would be for Black Fridays or Christmas sale offer, but feel free if you have any other ideas based on materials and the logos. I think that would be a nice idea that we could all do that together.
Okay, you can put it in the Zoom chat and then you can click on the link and enter it. Very good.
Okay. I stop sharing, right?
You can continue sharing theoretically because then you can click on the link yourself and show what you're doing. So you see at least some screen.
Okay.
Perfect.
Am I the only one there, or is everybody else?
Oh my! I actually no, it is me. I thought you are going in the link and doing these actions. It's so weird. Okay.
I'm an oldie. I don't know how half of this stuff works.
In Figma? Oh, you have to try. But like the fact that Adobe bought them, there is only one limitation with Figma, and it's the fact that I can't really like it is really bad. At least last time I checked it, like doesn't work with PDFs that well. And like a lot of design guidebooks, etc., they are PDFs. So like for example, a lot of brochures we design in Miro, and you can also export the PDFs from there. So Miro currently has less visual assets to work with. Like Figma, for example, I would say is Illustrator level. Like you can do pens, you can do hatches, transparency, all that stuff, SVGs. But it doesn't have this PDF capability, and it's a really big mess. Like,
but don't you think that they will like come up with it? Like,
I hope they will, but it's been 5 years already, you know, or
okay.
so I guess at one point you have to start seeing how your life is flashing past you, and they haven't done anything yet. And, I don't think I think I probably have to log in order to be able to continue with Google. Let's see. Yeah, I think it just wants me to log in my account so you can see who is editing the board. So this is for crowdsourcing the clients. Like, so it was like, well, Asma, we need the visual assets in 1 hour. You're like, oh no, I'm doing a workshop. Well, let's see how many examples do you want. So yeah. I really like when kind of people do this full screen images. But then I started doing PhD, and I really saw that it actually, like a lot of times, like being able to show several images on one screen also has some place. Because otherwise, like the presentation is starting to become 100 pages long.
I brought it. I think Amy also taught me in the last Figma meetup. If you want to copy something, let's say there's this huge logo in the middle. I want to steal it. I press Alt, Hold, and then I copy it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I love it. It's so quick. And then then the original is intact.
What is the offer? Is the Toyota giving us like 10% discount, or what is?
Well, since it's a Black Friday, I would say don't go lower than 50. I mean, it's Black Friday.
50% discount. I think I'm gonna get there.
So amazing.
Like I pressed Ctrl+C, Ctrl, you know?
Yeah, I see that I did that mistake. I took the photo and I didn't copy it. But I will copy it from Mati. Or maybe I'll take the secondary car.
Can you do a transparency?
Can.
Yeah.
Uzspied 1, 2, 3, 4 vienkārši tā tur.
It does work on it?
Un ja klikā uz
Yeah. One
This is so cool.
Yeah.
same stuff.
Wow.
What do you do?
You just click on the image and then press 1 through 0
you change
through
the
transparency.
Oh,
It's not like I work in Figma, I just accidentally pressed 1.
You can also on the right side change pass-through type. Let's say you can put multiply, dark and light, and similar to Photoshop if you're known to that. And then you can change size, you can crop in.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say if it's not a secret information, like on Fiverr, you already say how much your services will cost, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just thinking like it kind of helps with this. I think that's the biggest plus because, like for example, I just make a designer website and I'm saying like, hey, I make design, and Toyota writes me, oh, cool, like do you want to make us a banner, you know? And you're like, eh. And this weird dance of how much it will cost starts. But if you're on Fiverr, I think it's really cool that you're just like kind of you have this like one banner costs that much or
Yeah, but you can make a custom offers there. And to be honest, like 70-80% of the projects there are custom offers.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
And how much time do you spend kind of negotiating or pushing back and forth with these like how much time do you spend on quotes, writing out quotes?
To get it kind of depends on how quickly you can engage. Like if they write me a message and they are online and I am online, in order to make a custom offer, it could be like 15-20 minutes.
Mhm.
Because they are usually very fast, quick. They need the job to be done, and
And
okay,
they want it today, basically, or tomorrow.
yeah, like 3 days and can you do it? And sometimes they say, okay, 3 days is a little too short. When can you do it? Okay, 7 days. Okay, fine. What's the money? Okay, that, yeah, fine. Make a custom offer.
Wow.
It very quickly works.
Wow.
But you always have to be on time delivering that. That's why I always say 2 extra days.
Mhm.
That thing that Andrew taught me, better say 2 extra days and then deliver it faster, not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so like never ever should you give real deadlines. It's like
No.
because you set your own deadline and then you have clients deadline, otherwise you're not.
Yeah, and
So much stuff can happen. It's like going to airport to the last taxi, you know, you're like, what if it breaks down? Okay, yeah, that's how we miss the plane.
other than that, yeah, it's very quickly.
I went on Google and found this white program. Maybe some.
I think for these images, a lot of stuff is like sometimes you have the text on the image, but you also have this post that you add with the image, like or if it's like a marketing banner, etc. So what added context? I'm really worried that after this I will start like I might buy this. It's like, do you have this feeling like you're designing something for like some kind of tractor company and you're like, hey, that's a nice tractor. I can find one for myself.
Do we have like Christmas topic or?
It's for Black Friday.
Black Friday or Christmas.
Oh.
Two options.
Do we put a timeline for this? Like how long we do?
For 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I think we can put a timer like just for ourselves. So
Timer.
we don't get because if we aim for 1 hour meetup, so we don't.
I put them.
And for last month, do you have some more slides or we do go to discussion part after this?
We can go to discussion, then I can speak a little bit about Figma.
Yeah. I think, Angela, let's make it minutes. So 5 a.m.
I put them.
Okay, well, fine. You can speed it up 2 times. Like you are, it's like, oh, the time flies. Felt like 10 minutes. No, 2 minutes.
Hey,
Someone's copying my copies.
You have 5 minutes.
Actually, I haven't had these workshops where we do actual work for a while. Feels good old times, 3D modeling workshops, actually modeling stuff.
oh, I like those.
Yeah, we have like
With them.
Blender has changed so much, you can't even imagine. Laura, what are you doing? Are you making swastika from Toyotas? How dare you? It's actually so interesting, like how do you sell cars? Because like you can't just say, hey, buy a car, but like will a person really buy a car? You know, like you have to first like, like the exposure time there is like so long.
Yeah, one of my clients is John Deere. Majority of the advertisements there are not to actually like sell the tractors, but sell components, that sell services, and just to remind that they are there.
Yeah, I think so.
Plainly sale for them happens, I think, like 3 or 4 times a year, maybe, because they cost like 500,000.
Yeah,
You cannot really in
there are
social
a lot
media
of
like
these.
buy
Yeah, it's like, hey,
500,000.
I'm gonna target like guy living in some dog of those, like, hey, if they want to buy a tractor, just
And if they have sales, their sales is usually like 3%, but then 3% is like 20,000. Okay.
Yeah, I see a lot of car like dealerships. They have like do a test drive. I was always thinking like, what's the mathematics there with the person who's actually buying a car? I guess test drive might be a conversion.
Yeah. It's especially, I also have joined somebody who has bought a new car, and after like 3 or 4 years, they have paid the leasing payments, and then they, yeah, leases. We have a new model. You can come and test drive the new model.
Oh,
Because
this is the strongest.
Yeah, because it's always easy to sell something to someone who already has bought something.
Yeah, and also you know that they have the capability to buy it. Yeah, it's a very valuable lead at that point. Because otherwise you just, yeah, I think like when you do these free promotions, etc. Like we used to do these Facebook commercials, and you just get some click. We call them I think click whores, like they just like clicking in every commercial. Then you have a website full of spam followers. Let the money talk.
1
1 minute, yeah, okay, very good.
45 seconds.
The best design wins a car, I guess. So, yeah.
Would that be so bad?
That's what I was thinking though, like you're in a car and you're like, hey, but it's not the car I want, like you're like, what? No, I have to think about the park it. And there was the statistics that like less than half of people who win a car keep the car, like they kind of
Yeah.
convert it to cash, or because you also have to pay the tax when you get the car,
Yeah,
etc.
like last year, I think there was a Tesla lottery, and I thought to myself, okay, if I win that, definitely will sell. Yeah, maybe buy some Bitcoin. Yeah,
Yeah. Is it good again?
it's getting better. Yeah,
Do you have some
not that much.
proprietary information? Don't you want to know, yeah? Mr. FBI man, like raising up and speaking about it. Okay, thank you all for rushing. Yeah, I can go quickly if you maybe you have some comments on some of the designs.
Damn, I like Laura's approach.
Laura's went wild, like he was like feel the Toyota.
Oh,
Treat
that's
yourself.
cool. Who needs Rudolph when you have Toyota?
There's like red nose and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm trying to push them towards reserving the test drive. I think it's action, but actionable item. I think like for the car dealerships, if you offer like a percent off, it is really like this manipulative behavior. There's a lot of research that once you start doing that, the clients expect the value to be inflated.
Yeah,
And it's really hard to climb out of that hole because you have started building a customer base that are kind of attracted by the cheapest price, not by loyalty to your company or like.
then it's gonna be hard to go back.
Yeah, and once you do it, there's no real like road back. It's really like, because you can like it's called purchasing customers. Like, and any startup or company can buy customers. It's like a commodity. You can get them, but it's really hard to do it sustainably because you have to keep paying. Like it's like subscription fee.
Yeah, you have to offer more. This is where
Incentivizations, etc. Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe someone wants to tell about their design. Laura, what is your design process?
Well, if I would have more time,
Yes.
Wait, while Laura is answering, do you have cases where like the client wants that like the design like now and if you take it, you get it quickly? Because I think there is like this kind of mentality where I'm like a bolt driver and I'm sitting down at the computer and now I'm designing, and the first one who comes, like you get a design, and in that way, it will basically mean that you kind of start also making money quicker because you just send the design instantly. Or it hasn't become that rapid yet. Yeah, last one, yeah, you can feel free to criticize.
No, they're actually very good.
How do the briefs look like when a client comes? Like, I guess there are good and bad briefs. Like, for example, for this Toyota, you just said make a commercial, but I guess for a good work, you would love to have like this more.
This would be similar as brief, where they like be free in creativity and design a post for advertising, Black Friday or Christmas sale offer for Toyota. They would probably have some pitch ideas for slogans. And then there would be plainly sizes, this and this, need to include that and that. And then a couple of samples, or maybe this is our brand book. But in some cases, they're also like a little bit of information. This is why we actually want to make this advertisement. We need to sell off.
I was thinking because this actionable item is very important. Do you want people to just say you exist, or do you want them to be like, oh?
Yeah, they have like
wow.
This is advertisement to just say that we are out there, or this is advertisement that we have annual sales, or this is because after the New Year's we need to sell off shit. We need to make advertisement.
Clear inventory, yeah.
Yeah, and
Similar tractors.
yeah. And some of them also include those slogan pitches, but the majority of the briefs actually would be without, like if you work in an agency, then agency has to come up with the slogans that the only thing that the company sends in is like, it's 20% off, or it's like we have a new store opening, and then we have to focus on getting people in that new store, and then you come up like some catchy phrase.
I think for Lauris, you need to kind of save your iteration, because like seeing this journey, how you go there is interesting. Like I'm just watching your slide as a movie, like it keeps changing all the time. But I see it a lot with designers that they don't keep iterations. It's actually very valuable, like because sometimes you want to go back to something.
This is not mine. No, this is not my Figma.
I like this fine part in here.
I wouldn't make no
It's a clear value proposition to communicate that the vehicle has off-road.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just like park on a person.
I'm parking anywhere.
Yeah. In wood parking. Okie dokie. Yeah, do we go to the questions and answers section?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been in Etsy?
Etsy?
Oh, like all these kind of platforms. Yeah, five. I was following my Etsy integration. Like there's currently 3D printing service that directly plug themselves into Etsy. So instead of you accepting a tender, you would click buy, and it instant, like you pressing the buy would initiate a 3D printer, and it will start printing. Like there's no human involved even, and it could automatically fall in a box and get shipped to the place where it needs to be shipped. So it's like completely off-hands approach. So that's why I was all day thinking about Etsy. But we had a very terrible experience with Etsy. We went to sell these cubes in Etsy. I think we sold one.
No, zero.
Zero? This the German lady wrote on Facebook. Yeah. So only like okay.
I joined it almost 2 years ago, but I decided that I want to go that pro, and it needs to apply for. There's like a contest that you have to fill in all the forms and like the documentation. It takes like 2 months for them to review and see if they accept you, and if they don't, and after that to actually learn how to build that up and make first project, run and ads. I think it also took approximately 2 months. So I would say like 1.5 years while I actually worked there, but I'm not fully there. I also have a clientele here in Latvia.
Does being pro mean that you have to pay subscription?
No, it just means that they have vetted my professional skills, background, and I have education in that field. I have expertise.
So you're not like a guy from the street who just does.
No, and this is the trick. I don't actually think that you can get pro vetted if you don't have education, because I have seen lots of designers who actually I think they might be even more talented than I am, and they are not in the pro. Then there's always a question: why? Is it because they themselves don't apply, or maybe because they don't have educational background, or what's the trick there?
Yeah, I think like if I was building the platform, maybe I would add say like kind of like this person is vet and this person has education. Like you could kind of decide which way you want to go. You want to like work with self-taught, wonder kids. Do you want to have more like this professional service for a person who's trained to service you in this particular niche?
But for them, I think that what I have seen, I think the educational background plays a role there. Whether they
I guess they maybe did some market research and they saw that usually the people who have education are more professional, deliver a product in time or something.
Yeah, also like in my I think in the LinkedIn, I also showed that for a brief moment, I actually run my own agency. So maybe that also works. Like, okay, she has had her own business for a while. And maybe also the fact that it's more than 10 years of experience, because majority of the people that I have seen there as a pro vetted is either they are a little bit older and have like more than 10 years experience, or they are very highly skilled newbies who basically you see, oh yeah, that's a wonder kid there. Definitely, he can do it. Wow, he will go places.
I see.
And I think they accept those because they actually are money makers.
They are.
They are totally money makers.
Yeah, about these super short deadlines, like a trend in these past 2 years, have you seen the deadlines get shorter? And have you worked on this kind of model where you're like a bulk driver and you're like, okay, I'm available right now, send me your gifts, I'm gonna do them right now. Has that worked ever?
It has been, I think it's based on also in the fact where in the year you are at the end of the year. I think there will always be more projects there, maybe in the middle of the summer where people are vacationing, then nobody, like people can wait 2-3 weeks. I also have had a project last Christmas, I think. The guy booked me and he himself wrote me, hey, it's Christmas, take 2 days off and like come after New Year's, because I definitely won't be responding to this email. I think it is also based on the fact how you yourself can set the boundaries there, because it has been like people write me on Friday, I need it done by Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm sorry, no, it's not possible. There's the weekend, and I'm booked out for the weekend. Okay, when can you do it? And I say 7 days. Okay, let it be 7 days. Yeah, but there also are people are like, you can do it in 2 days. Okay, fine. I'll search for someone else, and then it's also fine.
Yeah, I think as long as you're like, it's actually a better position to be in, where you can kind of set your timelines.
Yeah. Because in that platform, what I have noticed, the job there is always, it's just a matter of time, whether it's like a fishing, you go to a fish, there will always be like fishes. It's up to you whether you will pick the fish today, a bigger, smaller fish, or you will come back tomorrow and pick something tomorrow, because today you're like busier. So
I think that's the kind of beautiful allure of these services, that like kind of you can give yourself time off. Have you given yourself time off, and how does it make you feel that you don't work for a month, for example? Because as I understand, like budget wise, they are like, you can make quite a stable income that way, or it's more like
what I try to do is I work hard, I make enough there where I see I have enough to actually take a couple of weeks off, and then it's easier to take those weeks off because you can see that you have that money, and if you don't spend it a lot and be a budget wise, then sometimes it's like, okay, I kind of see that I should go back to work, but if I will not spend it so much, I can still have a little bit of free time, and then it's like, okay, why not? But this comes with age. When I was 25, 27, I literally worked myself very much, and I think this is one of the reasons why I had burnout, because I was constantly in the fear that tomorrow there won't be any work and then I will be broke. But at one point, you have to kind of like, say stop to the fact, but listen, if I will continue, there won't be me tomorrow to do any of those jobs or to relax, because I will be down in a burnout or so.
I have one question. How did COVID change your sales, or did it impact your work?
A little bit, yeah. Lots of customers I had here in Latvia, they said like, oh, we're going off, no advertising, no marketing, we don't have budget for that. And then it was like, okay, plan B, let's start saving up, not spending, and plainly what I need is like food and pay my utility bills. And for a while it actually was like that. And then, but I spend that time on educating myself, which is also kind of okay, because nowadays you don't really need lots of sources for that. We have online lectures and all that. So
yeah, like for me, COVID time like was marvelous. Like it was just, for creatives, it's sometimes so good to have a few months where no one bothers you and you can kind of focus on your craft all night.
It is. So you also need a little bit time for reflecting.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm really introvert person in personally, and like just being able to recharge and not being forced to constantly interact with people. And also the fact that like becoming like these Zoom meetings became a norm. I think that's so great. Like I really remember like you that seems so weird that you used to drive everywhere.
yeah.
There's always this game whether I get that person to come to my office or like I have to go to the like and it's just there wasn't like other way of solving things. They would just go to a meeting. I know when someone says let's have a meeting, I think de facto they presume like Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Like let's have a meet and they're like sending you a meet link or like oh I thought it's a personal meeting. Like I start to feel old fashioned now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. On professional side, like if you feel comfortable, are there some like let's say Laurus is a new upcoming designer who wants like I see he has designed some 20 things already. He's making not let's say but Fiverr account. How much can he expect to make? Let's say he gets a pro account, like first year, 2 years, like if he wants to work his ass off, is there some kind of median or it's just what is extremely like a lot? For example, like we operate some Airbnb businesses and there is like this kind of, we have seen that like getting more than 100 or 120, 150 is really hard for apartment. Like there is this market price for Baltics and you can of course make the super craziest apartment ever, but most of the time clients just want to have an apartment, is it the same with the design? Will Lauris enter the market at the lower end and just get €5 per design, or it depends on him, or it depends on the like what's the situation? What can he expect? Let's say.
I think the money that one person as a designer with his capacity and capabilities can bring out, let's say in our situation, would be like from 1 to 1.5, but that's the trick in Fiverr. It kind of is how you brand yourself and how you manage yourself, because he can bring home that 1.5 with just doing 5 projects with a high price, or doing 20 projects with a low price.
Or 100 for
yeah, because for example, I am there with brochure designing, and I have seen designers there who actually advertise their services for, let's say, 1,000 a piece, and they do like 3 projects a month, and that's completely fine. And there are also pro designers, the same type of job, they do it for like 400. And then in order to make, like, for instance, 3,000, well, you have to make more of those projects a month.
Yeah, like I think like this Fiverr, it's like kind of, it makes me a bit afraid, when we do brochures for clients, like usually we start at 2,000 or something. Of course, we do it maybe a little bit longer, do some content for them too, but like I have, because I always mentally think like you have to write the invoice, you have to have a meeting where you agree on the price, you have to have some revision calls, and the process is not that effectivized, like at the end of the day, you never do a brochure quicker than like 3 weeks or a month, And in Fiverr, I think it all is arranged so efficiently that you probably will not spend that much time on.
There's also the trick that I have noticed in working in Latvia's market. There is always, okay, we want to see multiple different versions. There are multiple different revisions. There is always back and forth with the design. What I have noticed in Fiverr is the people there are more concise. These are my materials. I need it by the end of the week. Make something nice.
But you submit is the submitted version.
Yeah, exactly. And you also can put the count of revisions that you offer for this amount. And there, of course, always are a little bit off clients that it doesn't matter what you write there. In order for me to be satisfied, you need to do it like 20 revisions. But most of the people are actually like, you send them the job. They say, okay, yeah, this looks nice. Maybe a little bit word typos here and there, and make the final work. And sometimes you end the project in precisely like 3 days. And in 3 days, you can make like maybe one fourth of the month's income or so.
Good.
But in here it's like, okay, back and forth.
Have you seen that there are more clients and projects like living in the platform so long? Like 2-3 years for digital platforms is like life. Platforms become invented, founded, scaled, and bankrupted in several months sometimes.
Yeah, I sometimes do a research what other like pro designers do, just as you said, to see if I'm in the market cap, because there is a little bit that market cap. Sometimes if you put the price a little bit over, maybe
And
the
you see that
quality-
interest.
yeah, exactly. The interest lowers, and then maybe you lower it, or maybe you change the images to something that is a little bit more fresher or modern. Then people, okay, yeah, this is in style right now. That definitely. And sometimes it's also, if you perform well, you get good feedback, and if you get good feedback, immediately your ad goes better in the search engine.
Okay.
And then also, because there are clients who like pick the designer based on just the first page on ads, because they don't like searching. They'll find, okay, this is reasonably nice price. The images look okay. She's there, immediately answers to my messages, and I will book her.
When we compare Airbnb and Booking, like it's interesting for us. Like Airbnb is much more personal, of course, but also like their payout times. Like you have to wait for a few days. But for Booking, you have to wait like a month sometimes to get a payout. So what's the situation with this Fiverr? Like, is it quick payouts, or you have to wait for this processing time?
Yeah, for Pro, it is like 14 days. And I am in level 1, and I think for level 1, it was like 10 days. The more higher level we go, the more quickly it happens.
Okay.
And I think I had 14 days because I'm a pro vetted, but for without pro vetted, I think maybe it was like 21. I'm not precisely, but yeah, it was like you have to wait.
Because for the client, I think they pay instantly to the
Yeah.
platform. Yeah, they're just like making some quick investments somewhere, covering their electricity bill. Like, wait a minute, like we're gonna use this money a little bit. We're gonna have some fun with this, and then we're gonna give it to you.
I have had that experience, but I kind of like finish the job and the client disappears, and I can't get the money, because if the job is not finished, you can get the money. And then and then I wrote it to customer service, and they're like, okay, yeah, we also contact the client, and he's like not responding. I think you should like press the cancel, but then you get out of like you don't get the money. But if you deliver in 3 days, it goes delivered, I will get the money, but there's always a chance that he could leave a bad review. And in a Fiverr, reviews are the thing that will.
So you sometimes cancel just for the.
Yeah.
I have not, like for Airbnb at the same time, like the protections are there, but a lot of time, like it's also service industry, and like, man, what, like the craziest things you do just to get these reviews, because it's true, like there's this Dark Mirror episode, like where they are living their whole lives just because every person has a review score, and you have to like make everyone happy. And like it kind of feels like that.
And then everything is like false positive, just in order.
It's like just
this is the trick where sometimes it's difficult to. A bit like a downside working on Fiverr, you always have to be that, high enthusiastic about all of the projects, everything, because the minute the client senses that maybe you are not so positive, that like, okay, then why would I book her? But then, the briefs that they sometimes send in is like, oh my God, seriously, but okay, I have to do the job because, it is my job and I'll have to make an income.
There's some rules about AI assisted design. Like for example, like I recently had to do one presentation. I was so tired, and it was 3D involving. I was like, okay, let's just try prompting and like basing DALL-E 3 on it. And then like we did really great, like fairytale design, storybook, and in a few hours with AI. And I would love to sell it, like on Fiverr. Like I could give it as a service. Like what would Fiverr say? Should I say that I'm AI designer? Or do you have to disclose methods to get to the work?
Yeah, they have it. I think just recently I had a note in my ad. If you are offering AI services, you always have to be honest about it, that you are offering there. But yeah, you can do that and you can actually make good money. It's also what I have noticed in Fiverr. Lots of people order things based on how trendy right now it is. I remember back in the days when Bitcoin started to go up, there was lots of people who basically they order all sorts of designs based on cryptocurrency. Not that they actually had it, but it was just very popular back in the days.
Like that, yeah.
And now it's the same with AI. Everything there, I think they even have their own like niche where you can advertise that you make something in AI. And it doesn't matter what it is, but people sell it there and people actually buy it.
And this is true. For example, it is like really quick. Like I can generate some concept. Like you saw for the kebab hike, we had this tiny
Yeah.
kebab, right? But at the end of the day, it still takes time. And for example, me as a person, is like, okay, I want a kebab hike photo set, which I can use for marketing my event. And I would love for someone else to do all the clicking and filtering through, which is a good version, which isn't a good version, like kind of a person serving as this social filter or like this connoisseur of
Yeah.
images, and then they just send me a selection that they can.
You can definitely find
I
people
think
that.
that's a really good way of, also a really good way for someone to make money if you don't even have like the designing skills, you just have a skill of saying what's good, what's not good. And that's usually good because it's the first thing you learn as a designer is kind of learning how to, so that's why there's always this kind of this depression of only, or like as the first you learn what is good design and only later you'll learn how to make it because this gap is quite a large gap to cross. And then it's really great because it doesn't take that much time to kind of develop an appreciation for good quality design or consistency in design, like these visual languages and starting to distinguish them. And once you know it, you can become a good AI designer, and then also that kind of drives your personal development. I think that will be a really powerful future. Or like AI is your teacher, and kind of like I saw it with chess. Like at first, like when I was super young, there was this, the famous match where the computer broke this person record, and at first the chess industry was super like,
Oh yeah, the computer does it better
but
than
now when you look nowadays at the scores and skills of the chess players, it's like miles ahead where it was at that time. And that's just because before, if you wanted to be a good chess player, the only way how you can develop your skills was to find the best chess player in the world, But now everyone has access to playing with the legends of chess, and you can really train your skill set. And so the chess actually exploded, like it became so much more competitive. And I think that's the thing which will happen also with design, because to be honest, like world is full with trashy design right now, and through this, like we actually have like the really good skilled teacher for every person who's willing to go for it and build design their future.
I think it will also distinguish the thing that you said, like the junk food, the trash, out of something that is actually valuable. Because I think this is what lacks in our day society, that we have lots of things that are not really necessary there to be.
Yeah, we started this talk in the last meetup, and it's like kind of when you have a lot of something, you have to find a way to compare it.
Yeah.
And also it's kind of these consciousness levels or consciousnesses, or like kind of this how well you produce, what is intelligence, etc. Before, like humans really didn't have to worry about it. Like some education sector specialists talk about it. Yeah, like there are different types of intelligences, different type of skill sets, etc. Like different types of know-hows, and know-how is not an intelligence, and what is like creativity, and I was like, yeah, okay, these topics exist, great. And nowadays you're like, oh, okay, shit, it affects our life, it affects our existence. We really have to solve it.
We actually start using our brains.
Yeah, we really start to see like what is like low level, creative work, what is high level creative work, what is actually producing something iterative, what is producing something new, how to compare them, how to evaluate. And that's the same with design. So we are living in a time where we really will have to design our futures. And I think the design of our futures, I think it's kind of like this new renaissance, where we can again afford detailed designs. We can afford to go into really kind of niche things and get rewarded for it, because if you pursue some very specific, very iterative, like or very nuanced path of design, and it kind of feeds later the algorithm, you will be rewarded for it because you did the work,
Yeah.
And I see it, like for example, when I say like cute kebab, or like I say cute whatever, the AI always generates with the same cute face, and if someone designed like 100 cute faces that are like new type of cuteness, not only this cute little mouth, but maybe some other way of showing cuteness, or maybe poofy, or like it would be like a very good way of pushing human design forward, and
also because then it would not be restricted in stereotype.
Yeah, because currently every label has this kind of go-to. For example, you say for you can even recognize these AI models. You say to DALL-E like futuristic, and it has like, you want this, and of course it's not the one, but like when you go scroll YouTube, you can even see which covers are AI generated,
I also for a couple of times I tried ChatGPT to make a good sales ad text.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I
I
also
conclusion.
no, but this is actually a funny story because it at one point is like I taped him like I need an advertisement text, blah blah blah, and it came out like from TV shop commercials from the 90s.
Yeah.
Are you looking for blah blah? And it sounds so fake. I'm sorry, but nobody would ever book me with that text.
Yeah.
Then okay, with a couple of revisions, okay, this kind of sounds okay. And I posted there, and then they send me like, hey, we have this new feature that you can make introduction video, and here are some samples how other designers have made it. Maybe you also want it. And then I see a couple of those samples. The text is the same as mine. So then basically what that girl did is ask ChatGPT, create me an animation text that I can present myself. And then I thought, okay, but if a client comes there and sees that, and then he sees my ad and maybe 3 other ads with the same, like, it's the same text, like where's originality in it? Like where is actually what you offer? Is it plainly just ChatGPT because it's only one answer?
Yeah, for creative work, there's this really good analogy. Like like 2 years or 3 years ago, Adobe finally found a way how to automatize deleting elements from video. And usually it was the work of interns, you know, like you would go to these VFX studios and your first job will be to delete, I don't know, like antennas for movies or something else. You know, you could go frame by frame and that's how you kind of learn the sort of like you know, if you go more back in time, there's this Dulles Dauka story where, you know, like everyone had to read it in preschool, like the Dulles Dauka goes to his master and has to like kind of like take these underpants and make them apart, and then doing it 3 years, he learns how to make an underpant, you know. And it's such an old-fashioned way of learning. Like, you know, we are humans, we are intelligent, and we can learn much faster. And now, like at first, yeah, of course, these interns didn't have to do, I think it's called masking or something like that, this specific activity. But like a few years came over and I see so many new young talents because suddenly this new intern comes in the studio and he can actually kind of do meaningful work or do some concept design or listen in the meetings with clients. And, you know, like, of course, it's a very optimistic way of looking at it, but I really think like having ways of automatizing this menial, low labor or repetitive task kind of really frees up our mind to do some more risky.
Yeah, that's also the trick. Like, I look at the society and people always say we will be out of the jobs because of the IE, and what I look at if you will be not say you will be out of the job, you will have more free time to do more valuable things in your life.
You will finally do unique things that people haven't done before. And in history, it always was something that like only aristocrats or very wealthy people could afford. You reach the top of the pyramid of needs and you can finally do this self-development, this thing where now everyone can do it. And it kind of gives also some responsibility in your hands, like, oh, you got all the tools. Let's see what you can bring to the table.
That is true.
Great. Well, thank you for coming here. We are super happy to have you. If someone has a question, this is the last opportunity to ask Lasma a question. For those who are here in person, and we always have some people, then you are lucky because you will also be able to ask her some questions off record.
You said you like about this the competence, like you learned something and you developed the skills more. Did you use like any kind of online platform, or was it like self-learning or courses? What kind of?
I took those Harvard Business School. They have online courses. All of them are free, and they had lots of interesting topics back in at that time. I think I took Japanese. Those how they write books in Japanese. Like they have those roles. And about those roles, those are the courses I took. And then there was a Learning Love Institute that I also listened, but some of them were paid, some of them were just online.
Yeah.
And I think, I cannot remember. Oh yeah, Udemy. They also had like with data visualization, because back then I thought, okay, I kind of like charts. I know lots of people are like, oh my God, charts, it's so boring. I was like, okay, I kind of like it. So I want to like dig a little bit more information. That is something that I learned. Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. Another question for anyone? So yeah, just to sum up what I wrote down today, a lot of stuff, but So yeah, allow your creative person to lead you is a good thing. Focus on your portfolio, join an account on Dribble. Have you had experience with ISO? Does it work or not? Or you don't know about it?
ISO was the one where
Use host PDFs, yeah, like it's like good for brochures, but it's now become very monetized. Like it's hard to have like.
I think back in the days I put one there just in order to show clients the full scale.
Yeah, it's always had this nice page flipping effect.
That's a trick. I never seem to delete it. So now if I Google my own name,
Yes, they are very CEO
Oh my
optimized. Like it's
like,
so yeah.
and it's so outdated nowadays. And when
Same
people
here.
Google me, I'm like, oh damn, no, it's not pretty.
Yeah, I
anymore.
will have to go there. Like, yeah, also my portfolio is from 2017. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And that is also the trick nowadays with portfolios. Like people expect you to be up to date with designing trends. And the minute you finish your portfolio, like the ones I showed you, I worked on them throughout whole of the summer. Back at the summer, it seemed fancy. Now in the fall, I say, oh my God, I need to review it and I need to put a little bit more modern features there, something that's trendy and in style nowadays.
Do you see Instagram as portfolio?
I don't have it there, but I see lots of people have it.
I think it's good because you just post and it starts to.
Yeah.
Well, it is our longest meetup this season. So that's a record. Well, we can offset some shorter events. But otherwise, yeah, if anyone online have a question, this is your last chance. Otherwise, come join meetups in person. We are always happy to have you. And of course, for all of these who are watching them later, and that's majority of you, we did statistics like 96% of people watch the meetups and records. So let's hope you have a great podcast experience and then see you in the next season. Cheers, goodbye.
Bye-bye.